What's up, guys, and welcome back to Rattlesnake Patriot. Just wanted to go over a Higby video that he put out about 4 months ago at UW, I believe in Seattle. He's talking to some students about how men can't be women and women can't be men. And of course, we're going to find out how controversial and hateful that is pretty quick here. So let's get into it.
I was a reptile born into a human's body. That doesn't make me a
Finishing
reptile.
up the last conversation.
It's not, it's directly analogous. How's it going?
I'm doing alright.
So my sign says men cannot be women.
Yeah, very inflammatory statement.
Okay, what is your opinion?
Well,
The first thing, my sign says men cannot be women, and she says very inflammatory statement. What about men can't be women is inflammatory, and the left does this all the time. No matter how fact-based our argument is, it's biologically and factually true in every way. Men can't be women, women can't be men. Yet it's labels it as inflammatory, hateful. They will label other speech as racist. It's all hate speech, and that's all they do. They don't have to have any facts, and it's proof that they have been so indoctrinated they cannot even think for themselves for a second on the most basic of logic. So let's get back into it.
I think that a man could be a trans woman, so a type of woman. So yes, I think man can be women, because a trans woman is a woman.
What is a woman? And that's not a.
And she said, I think a man can be a trans woman, a type of woman. So yes. Well, there is no type of woman. There's either a woman or not a woman. Now, you could say there's different heights, colors, colors of eyes, colors of hair, sometimes blue, all sorts of things. But there's really not a type of woman. It's either a woman or not a woman.
Like a stupid Matt Walsh question. What is your definition of woman?
Someone who identifies as a woman is a woman. Whether or not they're a trans woman or a cis woman is based on biology, but they're both women.
So is perception reality? Like if you perceive if I perceive something as reality, is it reality? Or if I is expression reality? If I express myself, is that reality? Whatever I express myself as, is that the reality?
Well, how a person expresses themselves, like the name they go by or the pronouns they choose, then that is their reality of their identity. So yes, whether what someone perceives.
And you hear there, she said their reality of their identity. And I guess everybody has their own identity in certain ways. But it was probably 15 or 20 years ago, they started, that's my truth. And there is no my truth. There is no your truth. There is only the truth. There is no their reality. There is no my reality. There is reality. And that's another way they try to skew things. And they've been so indoctrinated they cannot even see it.
This reality is another thing because, people perceive things wrong all the time.
So if I express myself at
like perceiving men can be women and women can be men. That's one example. Very good. She's just catching
like a
on.
lizard, am I a lizard?
A lizard is not a human being. It's an animal. I mean, if you dressed up like a lizard, you'd be dressed up as a lizard.
Right, and if you dress up as a girl, I'd say you dressed up as a girl.
A conversation about gender, which has nothing to do with animals.
But what's the fundamental difference?
Okay, so she says it's a conversation on gender, which has nothing to do with animals. No, it's a conversation on somebody being physically different than they are. Their reality of themselves is supposedly physically different than what they are, and they can just change that. It doesn't matter if it's your gender or what type of animal you identify as. It's the same thing. It's the same absence of reality that she is talking about.
Between expressing yourself as a woman and that making you a woman, and expressing yourself as a lizard and that making you a lizard.
Because expressing yourself as a woman is your gender identity. Expressing yourself as a lizard is
The same
you
thing.
saying you're an animal.
Your species is a part of your identity.
Yes, but it's not gender identity. Gender in itself is fluid and flexible with like non-binary people.
Oh, 'cause she said this. Yeah.
But what's the difference? Why is gender fluid and species is not?
Because species
Because she said
is
so.
like the animal that you are like a lizard couldn't really transition to be a dog because they're completely different species and
I would argue that men are completely different sexes than women.
well, see, here's the thing. Gender isn't based on biology. Your species is based on your biology, obviously, and the animal that you are. Sex is biology, but sex is different from gender.
Gender is based on biology. Everything physical about you is based on biology. You are biology.
The definition of a woman is adult human female.
The definition of a woman is adult human.
Oxford, the most credible dictionary in the English language, adult human female is the definition of a woman. And female is defined as a person who falls into the sexual category that is capable of bearing children and producing ova. So those two things are inextricably tied.
What about women who can't have children?
Well, they still fall into the sexual category that is capable of bearing children and producing ova.
Right. Yes, well, a cis woman is an adult human female, but trans woman.
And then so they always get into what about women who can have children? Does that make them not women? No, there's plenty of women and plenty of men out there who physically cannot have children. Maybe it's a genetic mutation or some sort of biology went wrong when they were born. Maybe they had some sort of a medical deal, injury or otherwise, that prevents them from being able to have children. That doesn't mean they're not a male or a female. Likewise, people are born with all sorts of genetic abnormalities, including intersex babies, which is very, very rare. Not even a percentage of children are born with both genitalia or some parts of both genitalia. There's also many people, pretty common, born with 6 fingers and 6 toes. They essentially have another pinky onto their hand, and they usually have it removed. That doesn't mean that humans have 6 fingers and 6 toes. It just means that genetic abnormality showed up in that human. That doesn't mean that makes them not human, right?
Then is a trans.
But they're not the same. A trans woman and a woman are not the same thing.
They're both, well, of course, a trans woman and a cis woman are not the same thing, but they're both women.
A trans woman and a woman are not the same thing. A woman is an adult human female. If we agree that male.
She just said a trans woman and a cis woman are not the same thing, but they're both women. That's like saying a dog and a cat are not the same thing, but they're both dogs. Makes sense.
Female are sexual categories. Adult human female, female being in the definition of a woman, means that woman is inextricably tied to sex, right? So somebody who presents themselves as a woman but is not a woman, was born not a woman, is not a woman inherently.
What is a sex?
Sex is a sexual category that defines what your body is biologically capable, right? So, yeah, so female, according to Oxford, is going to be defined as a person who falls into the sexual category capable of bearing children and producing ova. Men is going to be the inverse. It says that men can't be women. Nothing hateful about it.
So right now,
So that's where he finished up with the blue-haired girl, and it's just, if you guys have watched any of the Man on the Street videos that people like Caitlin Bennett put out, talking with some of these leftists about basic reality, they don't have basic reality because they've been brainwashed for years, all through school, and then of course, I don't know if it's CNN or MSNBC or some other website, they have been brainwashed to not understand basic facts about anything in this world, and this is what we're up against. And when we try to bring up basic facts and basic logic, we are then called hateful and racist. Until next time, you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.